Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to everyone who's attending the YPSM Call for Proposal 2025 briefing. I'm Amanda, the Head of Science Support and Strategic Alliance of YPSM. And one of my main tasks is to oversee the management of research support under the YPSM Research Support Initiative. So for today, so this is what we will be sharing for today. We have opening remarks by the CEO of YPSM. I will explain also about YPSM, YPSM Spark Partnership Initiative, YPSM Research Support, our new online application system, tips from our YPSM panel reviewers, and also the timeline of the call for proposal. So without further ado, I welcome you, Sheikh Abdul Shukur, for his opening remarks. Sheikh Shukur, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and good morning. I would like to welcome all researchers, including our two new universities, UNITEN and UTM, to our call for proposal 2025 briefing. Alhamdulillah, now we have a total of 12 universities under Smart Partnership Initiative. After this, Dr. Amanda Tamalia Putri, the head of Science Support and Strategic Alliances, will share some insights like what she has shared with you all today. Allow me to reflect on YPM's journey on this call for proposal, which started in 2016. First 10 years of research is gaining a fundamental understanding of Antarctic's unique ecosystems. Now we are shifting towards research that delivers tangible impacts for Malaysia. This is the second year where the focus is on research with direct implications for Malaysia and Malaysians. Research that goes beyond fundamental discovery to create long-term benefits for our country. Last year's introduction of a team helped guide research in this direction, and this year builds that with a more targeted approach. It is my pleasure to announce the call for proposal 2025 team is Polar Discoveries, Tropical Applications, Shaping Malaysia's Sustainable Future Through Polar Research. I think Dr. Amanda will further elaborate on this theme. The theme highlights the importance of Antarctic research in addressing local challenges in Malaysia, including areas like climate resilience, biodiversity conservation, energy innovations, and technology development. It will encourage and challenge you to think about your proposal in your own field, can bring back knowledge and innovation from the poles to benefit Malaysia's ecosystem industries and sustainability in the long run. Today's session is meant to provide a solid understanding of the framework, but researchers should feel free to explore creative and novel ideas within the context of the team. YPSM is eager to see how the research community can push the boundaries, take inspiration from Antarctic research, and develop situations that matter to Malaysia. With this, I would like to call Dr. Amanda Putri to take the floor and continue with the briefing. All the best. We're looking forward to receiving your proposal. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cik Shukur. Thank you for your welcoming remarks. So I will proceed today with sharing with you a little bit about YPSM. So maybe some of you, this is your first time hearing or just getting to know what YPSM is all about. So here's the journey at a glance. So in 1982, our fourth Prime Minister then, Tun Mahathir, made his first appearance at 37 Unga. He delivered a speech entitled Questions of Antarctica. And so in 1997, the government approved for Malaysia to embark on Antarctic research. And 1999 was our first scientific exploration to Antarctica. And in 2002, the establishment of National Antarctic Research Centre was built. And 2008, Malaysia became a full member of SCAR. 2011, the 13th Yang di-Pertuan Agong made a working visit to Antarctica, which is Sultan Mizan. And Malaysia acceded to the Antarctic Treaty as non-consultative party in that same year. In 2012, Cabinet approved the establishment of Sultan Mizan Antarctic Research Foundation, which is known as Yayasan Pendidikan Antartika Sultan Mizan. And in 2016, Malaysia ratified the Protocol on Environment Protection to the Antarctic Treaty and became full member of Committee on Environmental Protection, also known as CEP. So this demonstrates Malaysia's commitment to environmental protection and conservation in Antarctica. This also gains Malaysia greater access to Antarctica for scientific research, which allows Malaysian researchers to contribute to global efforts in understanding and addressing environmental issues in Antarctica. So we celebrated our 10th year anniversary in 2022. So we are now in 2024, so we are 12 years already. So the objectives of YPASM is to sustain Malaysia's presence in polar research, strengthen research capacities, and number 2 is to initiate and promote scientific research programs in the Arctic and Antarctic, to raise awareness on the role of polar region in Earth ecosystem. So number 3 is to provide research grant, which is what we are going to explain later on, and fellowship encompassing R&D activities to Malaysian scientists pursuing postgrad studies in the polar region. To develop, number 4 is to develop Malaysia's scientific capacity, especially among young scientists, to promote the embedding of Antarctic science in the education system. So the video just now about penguins was captured in Antarctica by our researcher. So functions of YPASM, number one is to coordinate and provide support for Malaysian research in polar regions. We are as a focal point of a Scientific Committee on Antarctic Research, SCA, Antarctic Treaty Consultative Meeting, ATCM, Committee for Environment Protection, Council of Managers of National Antarctic Program, and Asian Forum for Polar Sciences. We also undertake CIPA activities to enhance awareness on the roles of polar region and also organize forum, seminar, and conference. If you have encountered MISA, it's Mission International Seminar on Antarctica. So we conduct that MISA every 2 years. So on your left is also one of the videos taken by our overwinter researcher, Prof. Justin, he is the first Malaysian to encounter the 1 hour of sunlight in Antarctica during winter season. So YPASM has moved along with a few ministries. So we have been from under MOSTI to MESTEC and then to CASA, and now we are under the Ministry of Natural Resources, Environmental and Sustainability, so also known as NRES. So under us is the NARC, and NARC has steering committee from each Smart Partnership initiative, give input and foster inclusivity to all Smart Partnership initiatives towards NARC. So NARC is hosted by University Malaya and also UMT. To the new Smart Partnership initiative members, which is Uni 10 and UTM, we will soon send a letter so that university can nominate who will be part of the steering committee, and we will send in the appointment letter once we get the nomination from your university. So this is the National Antarctic Research Center Director, Prof. Dr. Siti Aisyah Alias. She's from University Malaya, and the Deputy Director is from UMT, Dr. Wan Rauhan. So under them, Prof. Siti has appointed 3 head of according to their fields. So the first is Dr. Shiba, she's the head of physical sciences. Then Prof. Michael Wong, who's from University of Malaysia Sabah, head of biological sciences, and Prof. Dr. Goh Hong Ching from University of Malaya as well, head of social sciences. So if you're one of this field, you can contact them, Google their name, and maybe you can contact them to know further. And this is the steering committee name of each universities under the Smart Partnership. So they are the perwakilan, they are the representative of each university. So YPASM at the international level, as I mentioned just now, we are the focal point for these 4 international bodies. So there's governance and also science. So under science, there's an International Science Committee on Antarctic Research, SCA, which they are a big committee that you can also be part of it. So try and Google them. I will give you the link later for you to know more about what SCAR is all about. So and next is the Asian Forum for Polar Sciences, also known as AFOPS. So this Saturday, me and Jeshuko, as CEO, will be going to Shanghai for a meeting. There's an AGM in Shanghai this year. So if you would like to have some, would like to connect and have collaborator, you can share us with your field of research. Now maybe we can try and connect you with the AFOP members country this coming meeting. So under the governance is the Antarctic Treaty System, where they meet every year through the ATCM meeting. And there's a discussion on the ATCM, also committee CEP, which is Committee of Environmental Protocol. And next is the COMNET, where all the members of the countries who has research stations, they will come and gather and have a meeting under the COMNET. So our status is observer because we don't have a research station yet. Inshallah, we are trying our best to to have one in the near future. So this is the memorandum of understanding that YPSM has with the international bodies, which is British Antarctic Survey, also known as BUS. So we have an MOU for scientific and logistic collaboration. So the first cycle started in 2014, and we just renewed for the third cycle, which will end in 2029. So seven mission researchers have been to the BUS station in Antarctica through this MOU. So next is we have INACH. INACH is the Instituto Antártico Chileno. So this one also started in 2014 and it will end in 2024 this year. So there's three Malaysian researchers to the General Bernardo O'Higgins station for 3 consecutive years during the summer. So our first Malaysian researcher, Prof. Justin, I mentioned just now, he conducted the first winter research at Professor Julio Escudero Base Station. He just received the Malaysian Book of Records for the first Malaysian to conduct overwinter research in Antarctica recently last week in UMS, University of Malaysia Sabah. So the third MOU that we have is with Ukraine, Antarctic Center Africans, sorry. So we have an MOU for scientific, technical, and logistic collaborations. It's a 5 years MOU signed in 2021. We have one Malaysian researcher who collaborated with a Ukrainian researcher. Currently, we are at the last stage of drafting an MOU with Polar Research Institute of Turkey, also known as TÜBİTAK. We have currently 2 researchers who are collaborating with Turkey. One is Associate Professor Dr. Zahim Sujud from UMPSA. He's conducting research on renewable energy, and another is from UITM, who will be the first Malaysian to join in the Antarctic Turkey expedition next year. So we are excited to also know her experience. So maybe after she come back from the experience with Antarctic Turkey expedition, she can share it with us through a webinar next year. So recently during our trip to SCAR, which is what I mentioned just now, SCAR Committee on Antarctic Research, we have been offered to sign an MOU with Peru as well. We are still in discussion about it with Mrs. Maria Elvira. She's the General Director of Sovereignty Limits. So we are expanding more, we're collaborating more with other countries. Besides the MOU, so there are a few other countries who offered a slot for Malaysian researchers to be in the Antarctic expedition, such as Colombia and other Mexico and other countries. So this is the YPASM Smart Partnership Initiative. So recognizing the need to sustain Malaysia's involvement in polar research, YPASM introduced the Smart Partnership Initiative in collaboration with several local universities. So in 2016, there's 7 universities joined the Smart Partnership Initiative, which is UKM, UPM, USM, UMS, UITM, and IMU University. So and in 2019, UMT joined the Smart Partnership University, and 2022, 8 universities renewed the cycle until 2025. So this is the last call for proposal under the 2025 cycle. But in 2023, before 2025 the cycle ends, UMP and UMK joined in the Smart Partnership, becoming 10 universities. And recently, UNITEN and UTM has agreed to join the Smart Partnership Initiative, making the total of 12 universities part of the Smart Partnership Initiative. So in 2025, we will have to renew the cycle again, and we will see if, inshallah, the 12 university will be still part of the Smart Partnership Initiative. So this is how the Smart Partnership Initiative is like. So each university contributes 62,500 to the fund, and YPSM will match the grant. So currently, in total, there's you can see here is 750,000 in total, and YPSM would match 750,000, making the YPSM Smart Partnership Initiative Fund of 1.5 million. So we will give back in terms of research grant, fellowship scheme, and birth support to research in Antarctica. So there are 12 universities involved, like I mentioned just now. And so far, we have given out 56 research grants, 14 fellowship schemes, and 14 birth supports in a total amount of 9.7 million ringgit. So here are the benefits of joining Smart Partnership Initiative. So we give out research grants for up to 150,000 ringgit, fellowship scheme up to 50,000 ringgit, birth support to Antarctica is about more than 150,000 ringgit because for bus we have to pay in pounds, so it depends on the currency rate. So the strategic associates of YPASM, the presence in YPSM website and promotion documents, and first-hand information on the latest opportunities on grants and collaborations to be provided by YPSM or YPSM's international network. So for instances, Korea usually has a lot of opportunities, Japan and other countries. So we will share and distribute the opportunities that you can have by the other countries who's doing Antarctic research. So here's the YPSM research support briefing that you've been waiting for. So Polar Research Grant, we have all scientists related to polar regions. So we will fund grants up to 150,000, not exceeding 36 months. So we just introduced the field of research, social science and policy. Previously, we also fund social science and policy, but it was altogether bunched up with all sciences related. So now we take it out, and the grant is only up to 50,000 and not exceeding 24 months. So as Cik Syukur has announced just now, the call for proposal 2025 theme is Polar Discovery, Tropical Applications, Shaping Malaysia's Sustainable Future Through Polar Research. So as you know, Antarctica is a unique environment for studying global phenomena such as climate change, oceanic processes, biodiversity even so. So research done here can contribute significantly to scientific advancement in various fields like atmospheric science, biology, glaciology. As I mentioned just now, YPSM is under the purview of the NRES, National Resource and Environment Sustainability. So we hope that knowledge gained from polar research can offer innovative solutions to challenges Malaysia faces, such as climate adaptation, conservation of biodiversity, and environmental sustainability. So the idea is to use polar research insight to apply them locally to benefit Malaysia. So recently, we also have received feedback from our previous ministry that where we need to look into research that has the potential to address at national level issues to, like I mentioned just now, for sustainability and holistic manner, with the capacity to drive economic growth for the country. So this aligns well with the Proposal 2025 theme, which emphasizes impactful research that not only advances scientific knowledge, but also brings tangible benefits to Malaysia. So the key focus, as I mentioned, is the interconnectivity between Antarctic research and its application to Malaysia's tropical environmental and sustainable challenges. So, so why this theme? So encourage proposals that explore the impact of Antarctic research both in polar science and its application to tropical science, and also to support research that contributes to Malaysia's sustainability. So what research can be done according to the theme? So these are some of the examples. It's not precisely that what we look into. You can be very much more creative in exploring what is your own capacity and your own expertise in each field. So this is just an example. So polar ecosystem and climate resilience study on how species and ecosystem respond to climate change, particularly environmental with rapid temperature shift. This can apply to help predict how nature species respond to changing climate conditions. So this is just example. So maybe you can study Antarctic krill population that impact the ocean temperature, and then maybe that can understand how fish population in tropical waters might respond to rising sea temperatures. So this is just example, and so it will go. I mean, climate and atmospheric science, study atmospheric and climate processes to enhance understanding of Malaysia's tropical climate. This is what Dr. Shiba is doing, connection between Antarctica and also the tropical countries. Also, you can also study about connection between the melting of Antarctic sea ice and its potential impacts on atmospheric circulation patterns, just for example. So there's also energy and technology, exploring innovation in energy efficiency, resources, and renewable energy inspired by polar research. This includes developing technology that could support future Antarctic research station with a focus on sustainability and minimizing environmental impact in extreme conditions. I will give you an example on a 2022 recipient who has conducted this, as I mentioned. He has been collaborating with Turkey because Turkey is also doing their new research station. So he is doing the renewable energy in that Turkey station. The next one is artificial intelligence and data science, utilizing AI and machine learning to analyze complex data set, providing innovative solution for climate modeling. So this is just an example. And biotechnology, investigating the potential of extremophiles or undeadly organisms for biotech applications such as medicine, agriculture, industry, which could have practical uses in Malaysia. And engineering and physical sciences, applying advanced engineering, material science, physical science, research to develop technologies for extreme environments. So with possibility of application in infrastructure and environment in Malaysia. So we have given a lot of our grant to biotech projects. You can also look into the project titles in our website. But here's an example, the YPASM research grant recipient last year. So Associate Professor Dr. Aliza Azura from UMT, her research aims to develop a unique nanostructure with highly robust, tailored for microplastic degradation in water. So it's a good prospective research. Associate Prof. Dr. Goh Khan is doing a database. Associate Professor Wee Sang Kyu from UMK is doing a wound healing properties. Dr. Yusri Yusrov is on atmospheric processes and static connection between to the monsoon in Straits of Malacca. Prof. Dan is the first social science grant recipient so she has received from the continent to the poles, transboundary polycystic waste pollution management in the Southern Ocean from a Malaysian perspective. And the sixth grant was given to Dr. Shamala from IMU. She's doing an anti-diabetic potential from the Antarctic microalgae. So the advantage from Dr. Shamala and Dr. Wee Sang Kyu in terms of biotechnology, they have already in between the research, they have received some samples before, so they have already targeted and they've already known that there's a potential there. So we look into that, give them an extra bonus points because they already know that there's a potential in doing such further research. So that's the science part. So what are we looking for social science and policy? So for research proposal in the field of social science and policy, we are particularly focused this time around. Last year, we open it to anybody who has any ideas on what kind of things to do. But this year, we look into more on government's frameworks for Malaysia's engagement in polar research and the International Antarctic Treaty. So our call this time is more focused that we hope that can contribute to Malaysia's role in Antarctic governance and policy development. So This includes research that can be presented at the ATCM and used to shape our Malaysian Antarctic law, which we are still drafting. So if you can see here, what research are we looking for? Legal frameworks investigating Malaysia's role in Antarctic governance include recommendations for implementation of Malaysia's Antarctic Bill, also geopolitical reasons for Malaysia's continued involvement in Antarctic research. The policy development, we hope to see some frameworks that address critical issues such as environmental protection, sustainable tourism, which is quite important, or we'll see in the long run about Antarctic tourism and how Malaysia's perspective of that sustainable tourism in Antarctica and resource management in Antarctica. So social and geopolitical implication, investigating Malaysia's involvement in Antarctic research and its contribution to international discussion. So this is what I mentioned about the ATCM. ATCM meets yearly every year, so we hope that Malaysia can continue and be part of the ATCM and contribute more than what we usually do. So the fourth is educational and technological tools. So developing innovative tools to enhance public understanding of Antarctic governance and Malaysia's research. So we hope to see if there's new and also something engaging for our audience, not just researchers, but orang awam, public response on Antarctica and polar research. So if you are able to develop educational tools, technological tools, that will be happy to give you the grant. So additional things to consider, tangible long-term benefits for both polar region and Malaysia. Practical applications highlight the potential for translating polar research into solution for Malaysia's environmental, technological, or societal challenges. SCAR, so I mentioned just now, applicants are encouraged to address key identified SCAR horizon scan. So, and also connect with international bodies under the SCAR action or working groups. So we have also past samples under an NRC. NRC has samples that you can also build on. So we also would like to see if there's proposals that you can build on prior Malaysia's polar research, utilizing existing data, observation, and specimens collected during earlier expedition. We have also one a grant recipient who has built a platform where you can use the online data, where it's a big data platform on polar research. So you can look into their, he has done a sharing before, we have on YouTube channel. So you can look into that, his sharing session for you to understand more on the big data that he has built on. So what is Horizon Scan? I've mentioned Horizon Scan just now as one of our priorities. So the SCAR Horizon Scan is an initiative led by SCAR aimed at identifying the most important scientific question and research priority. So the SCAR Horizon Scan was developed and organized and managed by an international steering committee. So they have gathered in 2014 and they have come up with the 80 most important scientific questions. So I have give the QR code here. So you just scan and you will see the 80 most important questions. So this is just maybe can be done as your baseline, and then you can move forward with the questions of that they have posted in. So to know more about the action expert groups in SCAR, where you can also join and understand more, you can scan the QR code on the right side. So the eligibility criteria, I will zoom a little bit here. So project must be related to scientific research in polar region. Applicant must possess PhD in a related field. Applicant will only be allowed to hold one YPASM research grant at a time. Applicants are only allowed to submit one project application at each phase. So applicant must have at least 3 years experience in related field or program or research project. Application is open to Malaysian citizen as well as permanent resident from the SPARK Partnership Initiative universities. So this is one of the important aspects. This project must involve a minimum of 2 local institutions, agencies as well, and 1 international institution So the international institution is basically to help you uh, to gain insights of Antarctica. So there are some research that you don't need to be in Antarctica. Your collaborator will help you get your samples or even contribute in a way to your research. So this is the recipient of 2023. So as Intern Shuko mentioned, this is our third year that emphasize more on, although we understand that fundamental research are also important, but we also want to see more that benefits Malaysia in a way. So Prof. ID from UMT, he is conducting remote sensing and mapping. So we hope this is just one of the initiatives that we can see if we can look into where research station for Malaysia is available in the coming years. So that's why we grant him the research. Associate Dr. Professor Dr. Teo Chong from University Malaya. So his is on neuroprotective agent on anti-Alzheimer disease. This is what I mentioned about the renewable energy. Associate Professor and Senior Dr. Zahim Sujat from UMPSA. So he's doing the renewable energy-based microgrid system under the harsh environment in Horseshoe Island, which is Turkey's research station. So Dr. Muhammad Akmal Ramli, he's the one who's doing the big data. And so he's doing the biomarkers for his particular research, which besides the big data that he's doing, is also doing for markers discovery through generative artificial intelligence. So next is UPM Associate Prof. Dr. Shahida. Bioprospecting, so wound-induced inflammation. She's doing a topical formulation against wound-induced inflammation. She's using a zebrafish model. And Dr. Hamad Razi Othman from UKM. He's doing chitosan from krill waste for future potential in natural coagulant in plastic treatment. And Dr. Siti Harwani study on interaction of gravitational and electromagnetic phenomena in polar region, and Dr. Tengku Nilam from UiTM studying rare earth element. So this is what we have granted since 2023. So next is the fellowship scheme. So we have two fellowship schemes. One is to SCAR member countries, which is rated to all sciences. And fellowship scheme is up to 50,000, not exceeding 12 months. YPASM fellowship scheme through the YPASM UMT Chair in Antarctic Science holder. So this is under the field of research geoscience. So if you are not familiar, so YPASM UMT Chair in Antarctic Science is the chairholder is Professor Martin Sigurd. He's the Deputy Vice Chancellor in University of Exeter. He was previously the co-director of the Grantham Institute of Climate Change and Environment, and he holds the position of visiting professor there until now. So he's also held the head of school geosciences. He has received numerous accolades, including Martha Muse Prize for Excellence in Antarctic Science. So we are also expanding things of climate change and things. So he is quite the key person, and he will be speaking in the COP29 and Malaysia Pavilion this coming COP29 in Baku. So next is eligibility criteria. So fellowship applicant should be a PhD student or those who has completed their PhD in 5 years. The deadline of their application as a PhD student. So project must be related to polar research. Applicant will be allowed to hold one YPSM fellowship at a time. So all sponsorship SPI students or even early career researchers, means lecturers who has just finished their PhD pun boleh, you are eligible to apply. So your scope of expenditure is as below. Economy class, round trip, shortest and cheapest, accommodation at host country, subsistence is allowed, you need to, because you're still conducting research, so you can buy material, sample testing, analysis using the grant as well. Paper publication and registration fees for conference is you are able to use that 50,000. But the host institution will need to waive the bench fees for you because it can be quite expensive. So to know more, you can scan the QR, download the full guide. Okay. So this is the YPSM Fellowship Scheme recipient. So recently we gave the remote sensing under the chair in Antarctic Science Fellowship to Dr. Chong Wei Shen from University of Malaysia Sabah. So these are the few researchers who has received our fellowship scheme and their field of study. So the third one is the birth support. So we have two birth support pieces. One is to BUS Research Station, as I mentioned just now. We have an MOU with BUS. So this time around, BUS will be giving a place to their Sydney Research Station in Antarctica during the Antarctic summer season. Applicant must complete all stages of application process. I will explain a little bit later on what are the processes because their steps are different from our YPSM application. So for the SCA member countries research, you can apply through the online system, but to BUS Research Station application is a different process. So if you are interested in the SCA member countries research station application, you can scan the QR code here to download the full guidelines to application. Okay, so here's the BUS expedition planning schedules. As I mentioned just now, it's a different process. So you will need to discuss your project idea with BUS. So you can look into their field of expertise, field of research in this website, www.bus.ac.uk/people. This is also where you can also get collaborators for your research from if you like to get collaborators from BUS. And then there's a submission of pre-award OSPQ. Then the deadline is different than our deadline. The deadline is 11 December. So you need to discuss first with the BUS people. If you aren't able to communicate, you want to get our help, just email me or Intan. My email is amanda@ypsm.my. And if you need more help, so you need to complete the pre-award operation OSPQ. It's called Operation Support Planning Questionnaire OSPQ by BUS prior to the submission of application. So once you have completed the OSPQ, you need to email that to BUS, and then you will also need to submit the project proposal on the 31st January. So the submit proposal is the same, cuma you need to answer the pre-award OSPQ before. So when BUS agree to your OSPQ, then only you can submit your proposal. And then YPSM so it's the same deadline as us, but there's another step before. So the 31st January to YPSM would still have to prioritize. So if there are a few proposals who would like to go to BUS station under this YPSM our reviewers will see which proposal is the best to be chosen. So after that, you need to submit post-award OSPQ, and then there's a final approval from the UK, and that's in July. You will need to send all of your equipment and consumables to Cambridge. And then there's a training course in September, October, and then only the expedition to Antarctica in November. But all of these you need to pay by yourself. We only sponsor your trip from the point of entry to Antarctica for BUS. So the others, you need to find a matching grant or your own grant that you have. So this is the YPASM support through BUS recipients previously. So they are mostly biologists, but you can explore more of field of research by looking into the collaborators under bus.ac.uk/people. And these are the recipients for SCAR member countries and their field of study. So next is the YPASM research support system overview. I will pause here for a while and I'll get back to you in just a little bit because my battery is running low. Sorry about it. So I will continue back with the YPSM research support system overview. So I'm just giving you an overview of our new um, system application online. So we are very thankful that Agency Angkasa Malaysia, MISA, has helped us build the system for us. So this is how the system look like. So this is the QR code for you to enter this YPASM Grant Pendidikan Fellowship and Support. So once you have entered this, you just click Get Started or Login, whichever, and you will be coming to this login to your account. So as a new user, you just click on as a researcher, create an account, and so you will just have to fill in the details that you needed. And then your registration is subject to approval by administration. So it may take up to 1 working day. And these processes will only be on 1st November when the call for proposal is officially announced. So you will receive an approval once once the administration has already approved your request. So you get an email to know that your registration has been approved. And so this is how it looks like. So for registry research grant, there's Form A, B, C, and D. So there's 2 pages for Form A. Then there's Form B, which is your CV applicant. Form C, your CV collaborators. And Form D, acknowledgement for RMC Management Center. So for Form C collaborators and as well for Form D, you just download in this. You can see there's a blue document here. You can just download it. So it's this one, this blue. You can download it and then you upload it back. So for attachment for Management Center, I believe your center would like to know, your RMC would like to know what kind of research that you have also that we should like to apply. So you just download it, view, and then you save as, and then you send it to your RMC. And once your RMC has approved this document, you just need to upload it back to the system. And if you have already uploaded and saved all the documents before you submit, if you want to see back what you have submitted, you press the view form details and then what kind of application that you have applied, and then you can see all of this, and then you just press submit all once all of your documents are uploaded. So the fellowship scheme has 4 forms from A, B, C, and D. So you need to have a cover note from the home institution. That means your university that you're attached to. You just download it again, the document here, and then you make sure that your home institution fill in the form, then you upload it back into the system. Form C, cover note, is your host institution. So wherever the university or lab or institution that you're going, they need to fill in the form, then you upload it back. And we also need an acknowledgement from your RMC. So the third one is the birth support form. So birth support has 3 forms: birth support through SCA countries. Because I mentioned just now, for BUS, it's a different process. It's an email and discussion with YPASM as well as BUS themselves. So for SCA, our members only go through the system. So you need to fill in the form and the cover note and also attachment from RMC. So Form B, cover note, collaborators agreement to host you as in their research station in Antarctica. And Form C is acknowledgement by RMC, knowing so that they know that you have applied for this research support. So moving along, we have asked our panel of reviewers to give some inputs on what kind of mistakes that usually our grant proposals, usually what they have received from the grant proposals. So they have mentioned a few things. So we would like to highlight it here today. So common mistakes. So then they highlight that follow the YPASM application guideline. So most of the researchers, the common mistake is they do not comply with guideline that states project must involve a minimum of 2 locals and 1 international institution or agency. Next is letter of collaboration agreement must accompany the application, clearly stating the respective researcher's scope of work as well as IP agreement and ownership. It's quite important because we don't want any IP or ownership disagreement when we have given out the research grant. So you have to agree beforehand and before submitting the proposal. So some of the research also does the common mistake, it does not clearly state talent development and publication. So we have lined out the talent development that you need to produce. For instance, how many master students or how many PhD students and how many publications ada, tapi cuma talent development we have already state in the guideline. So you just have to follow the guidelines. So number 4 common mistake is application forms were not signed or acknowledged by RMC. So it's quite important because RMC themselves also would like to know, so what kind of proposals that their universities has already submitted to us. So also avoid unnecessary expenditure. For example, having discussion among local researchers, which can be done virtually. So, and also should use existing equipment and facilities. So avoid this. Yearly allocation for Antarctic sampling should be avoided if it is unrealistic. So it is unrealistic to do sampling every year in Antarctica because one is the cost, and so it is unrealistic in that sense. So you can only actually, in a way, go sekali je lah once. So you have to really, really plan your research well, especially in terms of if you need to go to Antarctica to do sampling. So number 2, proposal writing skills. Common mistake is some inappropriate terminologies used. Some were not even known to write or construct hypotheses. So this is more to how you write your proposal lah. So number 2 is objective should be constructed according to the research question and acknowledge gaps to be answered, filled, and conducted the proposed project. So research questions should be pertinent to the objective and clearly elaborated. Milestones and project activities should be related to the objective. Gantt chart of research activities. So the shaded column should show your activities, while milestone achievement dates should be marked on these columns as well. So you need to gabungkan, you need to make both in the Gantt chart. So their tips is to, if you're not well versed or in English or written, so you just need to have your proposal proofread, check, and edit your English before submitting it. Ensure the proposal is meticulously written. Proposals with unclear or incorrect English may require further editing. So just for your information, some of, the panel of reviewers is not 100% local, so there are some international reviewers as well, because because not all, the first round is only based on your field of expertise, so that's why some we need to get reviewers from overseas as well, especially for the polar research. So the English writing should be quite understandable. Easy to be understood by everyone. So I'm sharing you with the timeline for the core proposal 2025. So this timeline is going to be our permanent timeline every subsequent year. So we have conducted an online workshop on SCAR last July. If you missed that, you can watch it on our YouTube channel. We will put it on the chat box on our YouTube channel. And then in August 2022, we had a few online workshops. sorry, we had only one knowledge workshop, and then on September we had a few. So in August we had Insight Antarctica Experience and Challenges of Malaysian Antarctic Research. And in September we had a guide to crafting feasible Antarctic research proposal. And so today is the guidelines proposal and briefing in today. And in 1st November is the official announcement for the 2025 call for proposal. So if you have entered the RSS RSS YPASM, our research support system just now, or your approval will only be available on 1st of November. You can register now, but the approval will still be in 1st of November. So in December, we have a physical workshop. So in the line, we have in the schedule, we have a physical workshop on crafting this proposal in UMPSA. The proposed date is in the first week of December. UMPSA is happy enough to have other researchers from other universities to be to join the workshop as well. So if you would like to join the workshop, please drop us your email and we will let you know when exactly the physical workshop will be like. We hope that, because why we want to make it in December, because we hope that you have your first draft, just basically you know what you want to do. And then that's why we would like the physical workshop to have like at least you have a draft, and then you can work towards that until the deadline, which is 31st January 2025. So if you are having trouble with the international collaborators, as I mentioned, I will be going to the meeting, me and people from NARC, National Antarctic Research Center, Prof. Siti and Dr. Rauhan will be going to AFOPS in Shanghai. So there's 6 member countries will be joining, and also some observers. So other countries. So if you would like to get some collaborators from the Asian countries, you just email me your field of research and what idea that you have by this Saturday, because I'm leaving on Saturday. So please share if you would like to have international collaborators. And in February, we will have proposal reviewed by panel reviewers expert in the field of research. So that's what I mentioned just now is a local international reviewer. They will take about February to April to review your proposal. And then we have before the May and April, we will have also a pitching session with a panel of reviewers. Usually, we will also include people from industry to be part of the pitching session, to be part of the panelists in the pitching session. And in May, our final assessment is by our YPASM Scientific Advisory Committee. So our Scientific Advisory Committee is also has international members in it. So they will assess the pitching. I mean, so there's two parts of processes lah untuk for this assessment. And then finally, so there's a final assessment by this SAC, and then we will need to get approval from our board of trustees on the final people who has the SAC has appointed to have our grant, to get our grant. And then our announcement will be in July 2025. So call for proposal announcement of recipients will be in July 2025. You can actually track your progress of whether your proposal has been reviewed or as well has been shortlisted in the system. They have also, so if your proposal has stopped at a certain level, you can track the progress in the system. So in August and December is preparing a signing of research grant agreement between parties, and the project commencement is 1st January 2026. So all your Gantt chart milestones will start 1st January 2026. Okay, now we open for questions and answers. Intan, executive of under me, will also help answer a few questions. If you have any questions, hopefully you can answer them. You can put in chat box as well if you have any questions or you don't understand anything or you want me to go back to the slides before. But this will also be recorded and be uploaded in our YouTube channel.
I'm sorry, I have one question here. Sorry, I'm coming very late.
It's okay.
Yeah. I'm from UKM. Miss
Okay.
Amanda. I just want to ask you about the grant amounting 150K, and then
Yep.
the period for the project must be minimum not more than 36 months. How about if I want to make it within 1.5 years, something like, is it possible?
Okay, for our grant, our maximum allocation for every year is 50,000. You cannot go exceed 50,000. So if you want to make your grant 1.5 months, you can only get 75,000. 1.5 years. So that is the amount cap.
Oh, I
So
see. Okay.
150,000, but every year it's capped at 50,000.
Okay.
Mhm. Mr. Chakran, yeah. Any more questions? Sorry. Okay, you can scan the guidelines here. Please let me know if you have trouble scanning the QR code as well. Any questions, or you can just put in the chat box and we will try and answer your question. If you are not sure and it's your first time into this, I would recommend, sorry, did I just, so you can scan both QR codes just to have an overview on what is SCA doing, and also you can go into our website to know what we have previously granted.
Miss Amanda,
Yes.
previously I submit a proposal to the this YPSN, but I just want to have one question whereby is there any limitation for the pages for the proposal? Is it need to have longer proposal, or what is the minimum
No,
pages
we
for the
don't have
proposal?
any limitation, just that your executive summary has 300 words limitation,
Words.
your executive summary. So if you look into the system, you will see we have all listed. But since you have applied before, this time you have to submit it through the online system, because we
Yeah,
would
yeah.
not be accepting any more physical or email application.
Oh, I see. Oh, everything in
Yeah.
online. Okay.
Yes.
So there is no maximum members for each of the project, because I can see that minimum should be two from the national, and at least one from the international.
Yes, no limitation of how many, but just minimum. We just put the minimum, but if you can have more, that we will very much welcome. You just need to fill in their Form C and just add to the Form C of all of your collaborators.
For the collaborators, yes, we need to have international collaborators. How about industrial collaborator? If we add this kind of information, can we secure or make it the panel more interested to our project?
It will be an added plus and bonus for you to have an industry collaborator, but it's also subject to what panel reviewers would mention, especially in terms of whether the research can be done in Antarctica or not. So there are some research that that we think that has the potential, but when the reviewers look into it, they say that this cannot be done in Antarctica. So we advise you to let us know as well before submitting, or maybe just give us a rough idea so that we can also discuss it through with our panel reviewers to see that whether it's viable or not to do such research in Antarctica. That's our advice. But it's definitely an added bonus points if you have an industry collaborator.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? From the new universities, maybe you're not sure or anything, but it's okay if you don't have any idea on what to ask now, but you have any further questions when you are building the proposals, feel free to email us. I will put in the chat box my email. Sorry, I think Rashid from UKM asked me, I know any specific country to select international collaborator? No, there's no specific country. The MOU countries that I mentioned, it will give you an easy access, but we are open to any countries that you are able to collaborate with. Look into SCAR or COMNAP. COMNAP has the list of Antarctic research base station that you can look into. In the COMNAP website, COMNEP, they have, you can also know each research station has what kind of facilities. So maybe by that, also you are able to visualize what kind of research that you can do. So you just go through the research stations, what kind of research that you want to do. You can go and see what kind of research they are doing in those stations. So maybe Intan can help share the ComNet website in the chat box, and I will share my email. Okay, any more questions? I think as well as the YouTube channel, if you are I'm supposed to put the QR code. If you have not listened to our research sharing previously, just go through our YouTube channel, and there's a list of all the sharings by our local researchers on their experience to conducting research in Antarctica. Another point that I would like to share is that you can also do research in Arctic station, not only in Antarctica. So you can also conduct research in Arctic. Any chance you can get the polar share site? You would like this? Yes, you can send me your email, and you drop me your email and I can share you the slides. I will send a PDF file. Hello. Assalamualaikum. I think a few people has baru nak enter, but we have already come into our ending of the sharing session. You can watch our sharing session in YouTube once again. So we have shared the link to our YouTube channel. So you just press on and you please watch it again if you have missed our 1 hour sharing session. So let me know if you want any questions or you want a copy of this briefing. I will send, please drop me an email. It's also in the chat box. Okay, Intan will help send the slides to all registered participants as well as the session recording link. So you please register yourself in the Google document that is in the chat box so that we can send you the copy. So everyone will receive the copy of our slides as well, the link to the briefing session today. Because I think some just entered the briefing session. So we have finished our briefing session for today. So we will just share with you who all. So please register in the Google document. Okay, we hope that we don't miss any email. So please register yourself in the Google document. All right, any more questions? If not, we will end today's session. We will let everyone who has registered today, we will also have another session on how to upload or how to use our research support system application online because it's new. Most probably the people who has all researchers who has previously submitted their proposals also will not be quite familiar because it's new. So we will have another session on that one in December. And we'll also let you know about the physical workshop in UMPSA. And we hope to see everyone on the next session. So do follow our social media to know more on the upcoming briefings and also anything that our programs. All right, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Have a great day. And we look forward to receive your proposal. So on the 1st November is the open for you to register as a researcher in our system. Thank you, Puan Yushaida, everyone, Sulaiman, Prof. Lokman. Thank you.